Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, some tractor updates. I haven't done a whole lot. I know I try to film as much of this as I think is interesting. The tractor stuff doesn't get a ton of views, but I'm working on it anyway. I figure I'll do some quick videos, keep you guys up to date. We've got, I think last time I showed we had the framing in place, these uprights. All I've really done since then is put the hood on. Interestingly enough, the grill does not fit with the pump. I kind of figured it wouldn't. I'm torn. I don't know if I should just cut the grill because this is my tractor, or if I should save the grill because they're hard to find. I probably should look on eBay and see if they're rare. But yeah, anyway, all I've done is that. I got the wheels painted a bit. And I had just started doing hydraulics, I got to get this upper frame on, which is, as you can see, it's torqued real bad. And I've had to use our friend Nature to try to pull this back far enough to drive this bolt in. Ratchet strap to pull it down, tree and a load binder to pull it forward. Everything's just kind of bent. Like this lived a hard life before I came along. A lot of these uprights are bent. I don't know what kind of force and what kind of load you got to put on this thing to bend these uprights. But if you kind of see, they go up and go whoop and kind of bend funny. That's why I've had to pull this back, because this isn't straight. So when it springs and I undo all this stuff, it's going to be pretty rigid. However, it kind of sucks, I've got my new drive shaft in. I've got the pump installed. Really all that we're waiting on now from a hydraulics perspective is I got new suction lines, just regular 1-inch line, and I got a pressure line for this pump. So in theory, once I get the suction line in place and I get the rest of this armature on, we can throw the loader arms on, and as long as the hoses that are there are okay, we can fill this up and see if it works. We're getting close to seeing, as someone put in the comments, will it lift versus will it run? We're getting close to seeing if this will lift. Now, in order to actually get this all working, there's some work to be done on the loader itself, and I need all new hoses. But what I'm not sure about is the condition of any of the seals in the cylinders. I'd hate to go through putting all this things together perfect and then having seals just gushing everywhere. This is for our property up in New York that I had in some other videos. I don't need to be polluting that pristine area with tractor fluid. So yeah, I'm gonna get this buttoned up, get this bolted on, get the suction lines in place, and I'll be back. All right, gang, we're back with minimal spillage. We got the suction line hooked up to the pump, and it is full of fluid. I don't have any idea what full is on these. I really have no idea. I mean, I'm sure that tank is definitely full. I know it's going to be up in these pipes. I had a thought that maybe this is the fill plug. Like you fill it until it runs out of here, but I'm honestly not sure. Plus, I'm pretty sure there's going to be, as it fills cylinders, there's going to be a drop in level. I'm just going to have to mess with it, but it's definitely enough right now to fire the tractor up and see if we're circulating. What we're looking for is it should pressurize the valve here and should flow through here and then possibly through this balance tube. This balance tube just connects this section where it flows back into over to that one. My guess is that's just that you can't overfill this and have it back up. It always has somewhere else to go. Just a guess though, never really seen that before. I don't love this connection here. It was a flexible line when I got it. And these are hose barbs here, but I do feel like it would be better served with a piece of steel that might do like a loop, and then I can clamp it at the sides. So I don't love that, but it's what I have for now. One thing we're not going to do is touch any of these valves. We certainly don't want this thing to start to shoot hydraulic fluid at pressure out of one of these, because this is an open system, unlike the back closed system, which I described in the last video. This is going to be circulating at full PSI. So let's fire it up and see what it's going to do. Let's get the cap back on. It is a vented cap. It's probably how water's getting into this. All right, let's turn the fuel on, which hopefully I have enough of in this. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I have enough fuel in this. It's on a weird angle, so like all the fuel's down that end. Let me fire it up and move it so that we have fuel. Oh, actually, I can't do that because once I fire it up, they're going to lose the hey, look, it worked. All right, let's just see if we have enough to fire it. If I wiggle this a little bit, maybe we'll get it to slosh over. Neutral. I've been yelled at many times not to try to stand it or start it while standing on it. Choke. Let's go. Let's not go. Let's key. Now let's go. All right, well, I don't know if you guys saw it. We got cavitated fluid galore. Ugh. And I could definitely hear things up here. All right, yeah, cavitated fluid. Which is I would expect. There's a ton of air in the pump. There's a ton of air in the lines. For it to have gotten to here, though, it means it had to come up through here and push that air. So yeah, let me get this thing enough fuel in it to move it, and then we can fool around with this some more. Alrighty, I moved it. It's a little more level now. Put some air on the tires on the other side too. Again, I don't get yelled at by people for standing in front of it. Let's go. All right. Well, sounds okay. She has certainly picked up the water that was still in the line. I don't know if you guys can see how milky that is. And we definitely need more. It's not really like it's returning back down to here. So, which isn't bad. I mean, that's kind of the level of the, probably the level of what's up front here. It's probably settling to that. So it's not full. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to run this fluid for now, and I'm probably going to put the loader arms on, and then we'll cycle the pistons. Now, yes, of course, that's going to push this fluid into there, but that's already very contaminated. Some of those, the hoses have been open. Who knows how much water is in those cylinders? So we may as well, since we've already got junk, we may as well go full junk, and then we can drain all the junk out at one time. That'll be the plan. So I think what I'm going to do is drive this over by the gantry and pick up the loader arm and set it on here. And I'll see you guys when I do that. Alrighty, everybody. So we got it up on the gantry. Again, if you don't have one, make one. They're pretty awesome. We're going to drive the tractor in from that direction where the dog is and try to get it lined up on the pins, and then drop the main pins in here that'll go on there, and that'll hold the armature in place, and then I just have to pick it up and set something on it to hold it so it doesn't drop on the ground and drag the front. So I'm gonna go get the tractor. So, extract myself from this thing. Okay, so this is essentially lined up now. I just need to, well, I need to get it off that hose before something bad happens. We gotta go up. That's down. Okay, we're caught over here. Don't want to put too much tension on it and have it go popping off. There. Excuse me, puppers. I need you to step out of the way. There we go. And then this one that one got caught. I'm actually going to have to come back to get above this and then go into it. All right, you guys get the idea. Let me get these pins lined up and I'll be right back. All right, folks, pins are in. I just put these in loose for now. I have to grease them, obviously. I have to paint. I have all kinds of things to do. I put the piece of wood that came with the old tractor to hold this up back in place. Without the bucket and stuff on, it's not going to bend this any worse than it's already been bent. I just need to hold it up so it's off the ground and doesn't become a liability until I get these cylinders in down below, which I'm kind of thinking I might install now. If I put these cylinders on, then in theory it can't go down too, yeah, it can still go down too far. Yeah, it's not really going to help me. I kind of want to test the cylinders before I put them on, you know. But anyway, so we're together. We've got the gantry helping us out, as we said before, and yeah, that's pretty much what I have for now. I'm going to unleash the gantry so that it is free and clear, and then I think what we're going to do is see about hydraulic lines. Maybe we can get the front cylinders hooked up and try to see if they work. Alrighty guys, it's snowing here, ridiculous, but let's see what we have as far as hydraulics go. These lines here, I think this is ridiculous. I can't imagine a loader. It's kind of like that line up there for the bridge between the two tanks. This is stupid. Like, who would design this? Well, I mean, it was designed in the 50s, so I guess maybe they were working with what they had. I will be welding on a piece of angle iron here to help, you know, it'll give me, I'll weld it on with a point facing me and the camera here, and I will button these in behind it so that there's some sort of protection for them, because, I mean, it's a loader. What? Anyway, the goal today is to actually see if it will pump and do the things. I only have this spool hooked up right now. You know, I got the feed line going in. All the hydraulics are plumbed. This one here is not hooked up. This is for the lift arms. I haven't done those yet. I went with the path of least resistance. But what I want to do is fire it up, and I want to see these move. I mean, the goal here is to see these guys move in and out, and that'll tell us that we have a working pump. It'll also cycle the fluid in these cylinders and get out whatever air is in there, and whatever garbage fluid is in there, because the fluid's contaminated with water, because this whole system was contaminated. So I'm going to be running all of the cylinders, and then I've got a nice new 5-gallon bucket of clean, fresh stuff that we can use. So let's fire this thing up. Hopefully that's an uneventful event on a cold day like this. Turn on the fuel. Turn on the choke. Yeah, because we are going to need it today. Turn on the ignition, and I don't want to get yelled at by my tractor buddies for standing in front of it while I try to start it. All right, key on.
Circulating anything right now. That's not a good sign. Let's see up front. Make sure our pump is moving. Yeah, it's moving. Maybe it's just really cold or frozen. Maybe that's just the level. Let's see what happens. Nothing. There it goes. Now it's starting to move. Yeah, I think it's just really cold and probably not full enough. I'm just holding down on this to see if it'll do anything. Got no movement yet. Maybe that one cylinder is moving. I don't think so though. Yeah, the milkshake is churning. It is not churning good. I don't know. I'm gonna let it warm up for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Alrighty, folks. Gonna see if we got hydraulic action. I ended up draining all the fluid out that was contaminated with the water, and I noticed the flow was dropping. Like, I can actually see the pump pumping through these tubes up here. And what I found was this was this was not pumping. I'm using the thing to point at it. Why? It was slowing way down. So I took this cap off the front, which I thought was just going to be a drain, but it's actually a filter. So it's this cap and this housing here, and if you look in there, you can see this guy goes in there, and let me just get this zoomed out. This guy goes in there, and it was plugged. I mean, when I say plugged, I've never seen plugs like this. I don't know if I can get one of these. I probably can't. I was able to clean it up. Like, I mean, I worked on this for a while with a brush. You guys can't tell, but you can see through it now. So it took a while. It was packed with crap. So we're gonna fire this back up. I'm gonna pull that line off the valve up there that you could see still had stuff in it. I sucked everything out of this with a transfer pump. Hey, Poochie. So we're gonna put this back together. We're gonna put brand new fluid in. So we're working with brand new fluid. There's still gonna be a little bit of water contamination. It's impossible to get it out on the first change, but it's gonna be 99.5% clean fluid. So let me get this back together, get that crap up there drained out, and then we'll come back for a start and see if we have hydraulics. Alrighty, we're loaded up. I'm gonna fire up the tractor. Again, the goal here is just to get these guys moving in and out, see if they blow fluid everywhere, see if the hydraulic pump is working, doing all of its things. I tried to get as much crap out of the tube as I could. Couldn't get all of it. Just not easy to do. Let me get this thing running. I gotta turn the fuel on. All right, we're running. I see fluid, but I don't see a lot of fluid. Oh, there it goes. It just purged the air and went. I hear it. All right, moment of truth. Oh, I got one moving. I don't know if you guys can see it. But I think that might be because we back this up. Let me turn this thing off so you guys can hear me. All right, so we have hydraulics, guys. I think what's happening, because these are bridged, I think it's taking the path of least resistance, which is to send this one out. And then there's no pressure left for this. Like, it really needs equal weight to move them, I believe. We've got a little bit of fluid around this one. I'll have to wipe that off and see if it comes back. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited. Like, it works. It pumps. It's finally pumping the correct amount of fluid. Like, it's actually moving. Next up is the lift cylinders have to go on. They tie into these branches here. And then we'll get the lift cylinders on. We can get rid of the stupid log, and we should be able to see the arm go up and down. So stay tuned for that. All right, gang, hoses are here. So we can get this cylinder, hopefully, both hoses on, pulled back in enough to get it up into this area here. I got everything hooked to the valves. There's no more open parts of the system anymore. Everything is hooked together. Everything is tied in. The only thing I'm not sure about, and I think I might have screwed it up, is I might have these switched front to back. Like, I kind of want it to be when I push this lever in, the loader goes down, and when I pull it back, the loader goes up, because otherwise it's going to be counterintuitive in my mind, I feel like, and I'll be screwing up a lot. But let's get it hooked up. Let's see what they're doing. I know that I don't have the cylinders backwards. It's just a question of whether or not this valve is backwards. we'll find out. So let me get you guys set up, and hopefully you'll be able to watch that cylinder go in, I hope. I'm not sure because it's so out of kilter with that one. Yeah, you can get that one. That if I try to pull this one in, it's going to try to pull that one down, and it might end up snapping that log or something. So we're going to have to be gentle and figure it out together. But we got to get this cylinder in some, or we got to raise this up enough to get the to get everything on. Because right now that cylinder is extended too far. So let me fire up the tractor and we'll go from there. All right, it's running. Let's see if we can get it to lift up. That's enough for me to get the cylinder in. Alright, so we're going to have to go down and hope that it retracts it. Woo! Not yet. Crushing that log, trying to get that cylinder to go in. I think it's working. Oh yeah, it worked. Okay, so now we got to go up real easy with it until we get it locked in. A little further. Too much. Too much. Should be it for the loader. I should be able to pick it up and down now once I purge the air. And get some height. Ton of air in it. Get our mangy log out of the way here. Served us well, this log. Man, this thing goes up. Let's try and drop it down. Down seems to be pretty easy. More air in the pump. go. My goodness. Look at how high that goes. That's ridiculous. So I got a choke on? Nope. Alright, let's drop it down one more time. Oh, now it's too high. There's not enough weight to bring it down. I'm gonna have to put something on it. Alrighty. Well, I think we all get the idea. Still a lot of air in it. You can see how much air is dissolving in this line here. Gonna need to put more fluid in it too. I got a feeling that I'm low on fluid now that I got these cylinders filled up. So I'm gonna load it up with some fluid, and then we are gonna drive it up there and get the bucket back on it so that this thing has a complete loader. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, gantry time, our friend for this series. Gonna get the loader or the bucket up in the air and then stuck on the tractor. Now we just got to get it onto here. Let me maneuver it on over. Yeah, finger's not working to pause this. All right, got one bolt in. Need to maneuver and jerry ram this thing over to get that one in here. And then we can extend the hydraulics to try to get the other ones. So we got to go down. It's up. All right, looks like it could be close. There's the bottom in. So now it'll pivot. And all we got to do is get the top ones in, which will be easier said than done, but at least with a pivot here, I might be able to just start picking this up and it'll tilt back. Or we can just extend these out some. I'm not sure which way the easiest is going to be. Let's see what picking it up does for us. Anyway, I don't know if you guys are seeing it. So I'm just picking up on it. And it's tilting the bucket. Well, now we're lifting it home. All right. Well, we got some of it. So we're going to fire the tractor up and extend these a little bit.
snapping the gantry. Hold on a minute, I gotta take it off because it's too much pressure. Alright. Now we're just relying on it. Let's see if we can extend it out. I don't know if you guys can see what it's doing. Move you guys over to the side. It's getting there. Moving it. We're almost there. A little further. Did. Oh, almost. Almost. Just gotta go back in a hair. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, let me wrestle getting this lined up. Alright, we're attached, so we should, in theory now, have working hydraulics most places on this thing, in the front anyway. So we should be able to bucket up and then rotor arm up. All right, let's drive it on back to where it goes, because it doesn't go here. Alrighty folks, I just wanted to show how crazy high this goes, because it is insane. Going. I'll take a step back so you can see it. Turn this off so you can hear me. My brother-in-law thinks this is because it was used to load dump trucks, but holy, look at the extension on that thing. I could literally clean my gutters. It's insane. I don't know why it goes that high. I kind of should have known when the giant lift cylinders that it has. But yeah, so I thought I'd show you guys that. That's kind of the end of the will it lift. It obviously will lift. Goes up pretty good. So next up is going to be the excavator. We're going to rehang the excavator arm on the back. As you can see, we've got a lot of really nasty hoses to deal with there. But this tank has already been emptied, and I've already fixed and plumbed the pump down there for it. And it does turn and spin and create pressure. So we got to put all the hoses on and rehang the excavator arm with the gantry that is right over there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. May as well let this guy back down. That's pretty much it for this video on will it lift. It will lift. So if you guys like the tractor content, feel free to drop a comment. Always like to hear what you guys like to see. I like working on this stuff, and I'm doing this for my property up in New York. I need this piece of equipment up there. So just kind of filming as I go along the way. So if you like to see this kind of stuff, let me know. If you don't like to see this kind of stuff, also let me know that. You know, because I can make these shorter, I can make these longer. Like this video, I shortcut a little bit of some of the stuff on. So yeah, like when I go through and add angle iron to like protect these, I'm probably not going to film that because I don't think anybody wants to watch it necessarily. When I fix this damage here, which is pretty gross, don't know if I'm going to film that because I don't know if anybody wants to watch that. So let me know what you want to watch. And as always, if you like watching this kind of content or the square back stuff, working on that today, subscribe. Subscribing is great. It's fun. You should try it. And so anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.